Hi, everyone. A very warm welcome to this session of our very unique ZIPINAR, Let Us Talk It platform, where we crave to bring in an informed and an empowered community. And in doing so, we do our professional webinars every Wednesday from 12 p.m. EST. And what do we give you? We give you some unique speakers who will be talking on different parts of life, different experiences. And from there, we can learn something, we can contradict them, or we can have our own views, depending on their ideas as well. So we can do a lot of things here. So if you want to join the group, please join in the Zoom link if you are on Facebook or LinkedIn or YouTube, or you can give your comments there and we will take it at the end in the interaction session. And for the future, for the community, we also do our webinars for youth, which we divide into two groups, younger youth group and older youth group. Our younger youth group, they have both of them have proper prep sessions, and then they go live as well on a topic that they choose, and then they are passionate about and they want to talk and give their views on those topics. We know communication is important. Many people nowadays can communicate through the social media platforms, and why not these our youth who are in the community, who don't usually, they might have a wonderful idea or a feeling, but they don't have a place to express that. So we have created this platform, and we hope that if you can join our hands, it will be a great community in no time. So yeah, we have our youth webinars every Saturday at 4 p.m. EST, our older youth group. And this week we have the topic viruses and diseases, which was a surprise for us, but they want to talk about it, know how far we have come from various dangerous diseases and where we are going to. So yes, with that, we begin our ZIPINAR today. The first topic of our ZIPINAR right now, we have with us Precious Schwein. So I would definitely, the name was unique, and so is her topic. Understanding what's going on in real life versus what the children are being taught in school. An insight to the transition of children who go into the work like with a microwave mentality, a very nice expression which I liked very much, believing everything is fast and easy, and they face hurdles since the schools lack in teaching the essentials like career preparation and budgeting their paychecks. So it will be an interesting topic for you as well, for your kids. So please join in. And Precious Schwein, she is a best-selling author of Who Says a Princess Can't Come from the Ghetto series. And she's also the founder of New Visions Ministries of Florida, founder and CEO of Schwein Girl Media. So all power to you, Schwein. Over to you.
Thank you so much, and thank you so much for having me. I am Precious Swain Peaks, and I come with this discussion as being a manager in the past with a major corporation, and what I saw both take place in life from school, my school experience, my children's school experience, and then in the workplace, and how each generation has actually kind of changed, not necessarily for the better in some areas. So, in speaking about this, we have to take in place that digital technology is amazing. It's absolutely great. But it has taken away a lot of the things that we had to do to stay abreast, I guess I would say, to stay on top of the game. So now, when I was in school 40 years ago, we were required to dress business casual if we didn't wear uniform. We were required to write and write in cursive. We were required to take home economics, regular economics, learn to budget a checkbook, learn the basics of taxes. These were not options. These were required to graduate. We went through sitting with our counselor, doing mock interviews. We had to be able to write a letter, each format of letter. We had to be able to write a memo, but they don't have to do this anymore in school. To be very honest, they don't even have to learn cursive anymore in school. As long as you can print, you're okay. And so, where did the basics go? At the time when you're a child in school, you never realize how much this prepares you for the workplace. But school is your first step to work. You learn how to interact with other people. You learn how to interact with other genders and races. You learn how to hold a proper conversation. If everything is structured correctly, you learn who you are compared to your peers. Now, they've taken so much out of the curriculum and out of the dress code. I'll start just with the dress code. Now, our young people, they don't know what to wear to work. They'll come in to an interview in flip flops, in a tank top, in some jeans with some holes, and not understand why they didn't get the job because no one has taught them for an interview of no matter what kind of job, you should come in business attire. They don't know that they should come business or business casual to work. However, they roll up out of the bed and whatever seems to be fashionable is what they'll come to work in. So now you have more issues of sexual harassment. You have more issues of things being said that are unkind. You have more issues of dress code violation because just like the people don't know what to wear, the people who see what they wear say what they see. We've gotten away from, how can I say this? We've gotten away from the importance of real communication. Because of our digital devices, we can grab this. We don't even have to type out a sentence. We can put a few little letters that really probably mean nothing in real life and send it off. And from those 3 letters, the person we sent the message to knows what to do. But in school, they're not countering that anymore. We used to have to speak legitimate, proper English. We couldn't y'all and ain't and no, that wasn't acceptable. We had to use a dictionary. We had to use the appropriate words in an actual sentence. Now, because of the age that we're in, the growth of social media, the growth of digital technology, we have people that are going into the workplace that think it's okay in the business chat for maybe technical support or customer service to respond to the customer with LOL or BRB. We still need to know how to type out and use proper English. School is no longer pushing this. They're no longer pushing proper writing. You no longer have to know how to write a letter. But what happens when you get in the workplace and your job requires you to write a letter, or your job requires you to write a memo, or your job requires you to answer an actual phone and take a message that someone other than you can understand? We have to reach out because the budgets aren't there and the schools aren't going to change. But we have to reach out into the community and get the parents and the community leaders involved again and start teaching these children that work is work. The workplace is the workplace. They no longer know time management. So they roll into work when they're ready. They take breaks, extended lunches, and don't understand why they don't have a job for long. They no longer are learning these basic facts, these very important. Though they may seem minimal, these are very important things if you're going to have a career or even a business, because you can't function on either if you don't understand time management, if you don't understand the importance of adherence to a schedule, if you don't know how to budget even your money, not just your time, but even your money. So, being older, when I was in school, at the beginning of the year, we got a syllabus. In some situations now, everything is online and they depend on these children to go online and read these resources, which they don't really do. And because you had a syllabus, you knew in advance what you needed to do. So you had the opportunity to be an overachiever and finish early. But you at least had the opportunity to know what you needed to know to finish on time. You knew what was expected, you knew what was required. And because that has been now removed, it's hard to get them to understand that everything in life really may not has a syllabus. It may not be called a syllabus in that situation, but life is based on a syllabus process. When you go into most jobs, even fast food, believe it or not, there is an expectation and there is a time frame. There is a deadline. On that line in a fast food job, that food has to be moved by a certain time or it's no longer fresh. In the corporate arena, there's statistics, there's metrics, there's goals that have to be met for the company to be productive and be able to continue to pay. But because we're not teaching them in school the importance of understanding the cycle, they don't understand why deadlines are so important. They don't understand if they're late, that impacts the next department and the next department, which holds up the company from getting paid from their client, which now puts the company in a situation when it comes to pay. Because how do I pay you if I haven't got paid? There has to be a way that we can pull it all together and get this back into the lives of our children. My children are grown and they're entrepreneurs now. I'm the grandmother of some kidpreneurs. But that's only because what the school didn't give them, I gave them at home. We have to realize it's more than making them happy. It's more than making them laugh. It's more than being their friend. Because the major companies suffer and have high turnover rate because they're getting people coming in that aren't ready to really work. Even though they do training. If you're late for training, what did you miss? You can't get that back. If you left training early, if you were so busy texting on your phone that you weren't pay, or on your Facebook or on your Instagram, that you weren't paying attention to training, how many mistakes will you make that will cost the company in the long run? We have to find some kind of way to instill back in the basics. I encourage anyone who tuned in to listen to take a step back. If you have children, ask them some questions. See where they are based on their age range in their preparation to be ready to go into the workforce or even go into entrepreneurship. Because you have to have the same discipline to be an entrepreneur as you have to do to have a good career. You can't slack in business and expect your business to succeed. I used to tell my representatives as a manager, they can hear your smile through the phone. Smile. The more you smile, the better you'll feel. Dress like you're coming to work. Believe it or not, your outfit impacts your attitude. If you're in your pajamas, now you're slouched down in your chair. But if you're dressed, you're, ooh, because I'm sharp. I look good. I got to show this. And so now you're smiling, and now it's projecting through to your customer. That's what I taught in customer service, but that applies to pretty much any type of business that you're in. How you look determine pretty much shapes how you feel. And so with today's generation, you might get some pushback. Oh, with my shorts on, I feel sexy. We don't want to feel sexy at work. Okay. We want to tune that in a little, you know, but we want to also encourage diversity because way back when I was in school, we learned different cultures. We learned that just because they were different didn't mean they were bad. We learned that everybody being different is what made this a beautiful world. That other cultures contributed to our culture and our culture contributed to theirs. Now, with the social media and the news, and all you hear is the negative, never really the positive. So our children grow up, and whether they say it or not, they kind of side eye those who aren't like them. They automatically distrust instead of allowing them to cause them to distrust them. And so you find, I call them glitches. They all just kind of cycle together. Nobody really talks. In a work environment, it takes everybody to win. Your business or your team is only strong as your weakest employee. And so we need to teach them to be the strength and the asset and not the weakling. We have 20 minutes, so I'm going to stop there. Um, I am open for sessions with parents and youth. I don't charge for that because I just feel like it's something we need to make our businesses stronger and to make our children stronger. I thank you so much for the invite and the time to speak.
Yeah, thank you so much, Shwayne. It was like, I would say, I think there are some, Tonya, she joined. Yeah, you have, you can unmute yourself and talk, Tonya. I think she.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. My name is
Hi,
Dr. And I really enjoyed the conversation, Precious. I appreciate what you said, and I love the way you're taking a proactive approach. To really just helping the youngsters. And I see what you're saying. There's been like a detriment, a deterioration of the skills that you actually talked about. So thank you so much.
Yeah,
So,
thank you, Tonya.
Precious, I would ask, do you have a curriculum that fills in the gaps? Do you have a program people can join? Or is there an ebook? Or what do you have as far as an organized resource to help attack this problem?
I have a written curriculum that I'm right now converting into a digital version so that I can be able to easier distribute it. And as crazy as this is going to sound, since I'm a publisher, I haven't put it in ebook format yet because I'm trying to, with my personality style, I'm extremely transparent and really, really blunt. And so I have my daughter-in-law that's an actual teacher working with me to phrase this in a way that is not so maybe aggressive or that doesn't pinch. Because normally when I go speak, I'll be very honest, my intention is for it to pinch. I want you to understand that whether you like it or not, this is something we need to fix. I'm not really there to get the applause and the smiles. I want you to understand that, yes, I'm here. I'll do anything for you. But listen, for the most part, I'm going to say it how I would say, we're tripping. We need to get this together. We weren't here to just let the community around us, the world around us, fall apart. But I don't want to provide a curriculum where I got everybody out pinching, because that's not always the best way to reach people. So in about, I say within the next 30 days, the digital curriculum will be completed, because I have a few charter schools and private schools that are interested in kind of looking at it, because it's not an attack against the school. I've done the research and realized that some of the things they stopped teaching, they had to. There were lawsuits and there were budget cuts and there were different things that made them quit doing some of these things in school. There was a lot that made them feel like the children, only certain children were excelling and not others. So they had to kind of bring it down a notch. But that doesn't necessarily mean that's the best thing. Sometimes you have to push them up instead of bringing it down to them. I'm not sure if the way I'm saying it makes sense, but anything that you baby too much is going to kind of stay in a baby state. Sometimes you have to just be completely honest and say, hey, get up, put on your boots like the soldier you are, and march. If you don't understand, we'll do it again, but don't not do it.
Yeah, for sure. There were there've been complete studies on student classrooms where the expectation was raised drastically and the students rose with to meet those expectations. And then another classroom, similar students, and only variable that was different in that kind of experiment, if you would, was they didn't have high expectations. They, let it be low, and they didn't reach the same success level as the other class that was driven and pushed and encouraged appropriately and positively to reach higher goals. So there's definitely science and studies that definitely validate that viewpoint, Precious, for sure.
Thank you so much. So to answer your question, in about 30 days, I'll have it digital. I do have it in print form now and will be very willing to share with anyone who reaches out for it, because like I said, this isn't necessarily for me to make money, but it is for me to make money, because in essence, if there's nobody to work, I have to slim my business because I don't have any employees because nobody knows how to work anymore. If I can teach you how to work, I can grow my business because now I can hire people. Because even if you get them in and train them, you can't train certain things on a job. You know what I mean? You can't reteach how to communicate. You can tell them how you want them to communicate, but the moment you're not standing over them, they're going to talk how they're going to do it however they're used to. And so it's just something that needs to just
one question that comes here, like when we talk about the importance of good handwriting, when we say the importance of dressing up for a meeting or for a simple school to sit, you are in Zoom. So their thing is that we hardly have to write anything. We are all typing. The teacher doesn't say if we are not, the teacher says that, okay, just keep your videos on and that is good enough. Like you don't have to really come dressed up. So if it is, don't you think like it's more for the teachers? And most of the things always I hear, it's optional. You can do this assignment or it's optional. Most of them, unless and until it is the core curriculum. So doesn't that affect a lot? Because students, they love to hear and get that instruction from the teacher rather than from a parent.
It does make a difference. And I do think that, like I said, the digital has impacted the environment. But what I told my children is, what happens when the power's out? What happens when your computer's broken? What happens if all of a sudden the internet shut down? Now we don't factor in the what ifs. Like we're on a video platform now, but that didn't mean not to put on clothes and come on in our pajamas, you know what I mean? But because of the lax attitude, someone who doesn't know better is going to come maybe in a t-shirt that says getting high all day. You know what I mean? I'm just using that as an example.
Right.
Yes, the teachers need to suggest this. Yes, the people need to, the parents need to also push it, because at the end of the day, I'll give you a perfect example. I have a total virtual business. My clients don't even have to come to me. They can send me stuff through a portal. But in office, I write in my planner because writing helps me remember. If I type it, there's no, I just typed it or
Connection.
talking to a mic and had it typed. But if I'm forced to get my planner, get my pen, write this, now I'm looking at it, it helps me to, I don't know how to explain that. I don't know if it's just me, but
I
it
can
helps
totally agree.
to remember. And so I encourage, like for my assistants, they can't stand it. I write them little notes and hand them the note, and they're like, you could have texted me. Mm-mm. And so in turn, instead, now they write, because you just never know what may happen where your digital device has gone down. Where's your backup? If my phone breaks, while I was in Dallas, I had a situation where my phone broke. I didn't know anybody's phone number anymore. I didn't know my calendar because I hadn't written it down like I should have. And so it just reiterated the reason I think they should still know how to at least do this, because I was in Dallas like, oh my goodness, what do I do? Luckily, I had my daughter and one of my assistants with me who, everything syncs now. So you just sync your calendar with other people. And so you can still know. But what what if you don't sync? What if you never think to? What if you know this much technology when you instead of this much? It's just things that the basics that everybody should know. The reading, the writing, the arithmetic, is something we should still be able to do math without a calculator. You know,
Right.
it's just hard to explain where I kind of am with it, but I raised 7 children that way. And because I raised them like that, 5 of my 7 are business owners. Like, and I don't mean just I'm selling some paparazzi, like state LLC, whole 9 yards, employees, business owners. And so that tells me something about pushing them to keep to that structure worked for them.
Right. Yeah. Any other question, feedback, comments? If not, I
Yeah,
cannot wait to, yeah.
I'm sorry. This is Dr. Tanya once again, and I am an educator, and I've taught middle school and high schoolers, and at the collegiate level. And I'm interested in knowing exactly what age limits your curriculum is based on, Precious.
I actually have one for elementary, middle, and high school with the different phases of kind of where they should be. Because, well, I'll explain it to you offsite, but I hit each area because each area, we may not realize it, but we start preparing them for work in elementary school. All the way from the writing the agenda off the chalkboard. We're teaching them time management. We're teaching them how to plan their day without telling them we're teaching them how to plan their day. So I've put something together for each age level.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, and thank you, Dr. Tanya, for joining in. We did receive your, I'll get back to you. And yeah, thank you for attending the webinar. So yeah, this leads us to our second topic of the day. And that's 21 sales closing techniques that are bound to make an impact in your business. And definitely the two topics are, as our next speaker just said, that they are, two sides of the spectrum. So if you are without sales, Where do we start? These questions are bugging you. Are all closing techniques created equal? Are all techniques right for all people? So if you want to know the answers, please tune in for our next topic with Jessica Coach. She is a sales and marketing trainer and a passionate speaker, and she has worked with Fortune 1000 clients like Disney and Verizon. Her goal is to guide business owners and sales professionals to achieve a balanced sales and marketing strategy. And the best part about our two speakers today, which we just came to know, that they are a mother of 7 children, each of them. So we want to know about that, and that's why maybe they are so successful in which ever field they are, because they know what management is all about. So over to you, Jessica. Thank you so much for joining in.
Oh, wow. Great to hear. Thank you.
That's so funny. So I am the Italian mother of 7. We have 5 girls and 2 boys. And yeah, it's you definitely learn time management, outsourcing, delegation, goal setting, vision boards. We used to, when we would catch you doing something good in our house, you would ring a big brass bell. You'd get to ring the bell because you got caught doing something good. So our kids were tattletales when they caught one of their siblings doing something good. And so, yeah, I love what Precious is sharing. I believe mindset, goals, meditation, so many things are missed in the world of the curriculum for schools. And one of those things, and I've participated in a lot of LinkedIn training for schools and prepping, and really that is about setting up early your communication and your relationships, really. So everything in my world leads back to relationships.